Hello, YouTube. This is your girl, Karma Kaboom, broadcasting live from my bed. I'm not going to be on camera. I'm just going to be talking. You'll have audio only this morning. So, I've waited all night for this. I had to work last night. I'm so tired. But I'm going to give my commentary about this situation. And I'll start with saying that I am just so shocked. And the blogs were just loaded. The social media streets were jammed, packed last night. So much information was coming in concerning this situation involving the unfortunate family feud between Romeo and his dad, Master P. My favorite celebrity, son and dad. I did not see this coming. For all these years, I have thought that they were so close and they had this unbreakable bond. And who knew? Who knew that there were trouble in the waters? I don't know how long this trouble has been brewing. When did it start? Well, this is a case for Jesus. This is a case for Iyanla Van Zant. This is a case for Dr. Phil. This is a case for Oprah. I need Oprah to dust off her couch and invite Master P and Romeo to sit down with Sonia, Romeo's mom, Master P's former wife and high school sweetheart. This is so tragic. And they have so many kids in Romeo. He stands out because he is the firstborn. And he looks more like his mom. And the other kids, they look like a equivalent of both. But Romeo, he looks more like his mom. And, it's just so strange how it seems like just yesterday Romeo was a little boy and now he's a full grown man. And even though he is so good looking, I just can't look at Romeo like that because he still seems like little Romeo, you know? And here he is, a full grown man. I still can't believe he's 30 plus years old. And now he's a whole dad himself. I just can't believe it. And he's, come from the rap world. I don't know if he wanted to evolve from that or if he lost his passion for that. Or did he even ever have a passion? Was he just following in his dad's footsteps and dibbling and dabbling in a whole lot of things just like his dad? I don't know. But Romeo is clearly hurting. And I think he's been holding this in for so long. And years ago, when there was so much trouble between Master P and his former wife, Sonia, Romeo's mom, Romeo was caught in between the two of them, right? And he loved both of them. And he didn't really want to pick sides. And I think a whole lot started, you know, brewing inside of him a little bit before then. But, you know, like he said, he feels like image is everything for his dad, Master P. And, Master P is denying a lot of the allegations that Romeo has presented and vice versa. So I think, just like Master P said himself, he's still growing as a parent. He's making a lot of mistakes along the way. And they haven't been down this road before. So now Romeo is a grown man and he feels like he no longer has to bite his tongue and he wants to speak up for himself and say a whole lot of things that he's been holding inside. And, he can't really talk to Master P because he feels like Master P deflects. He does a lot of deflecting. So this has caused a lot of hostility and aggravation with Romeo. And, you know, Master P, he wants to focus on the business, building the brand, and working to keep the money flowing and everything. He doesn't really want to have a lot of focus on what he might consider things that are petty and don't really matter. He wants Romeo to man up. And, Romeo, he's in touch with his masculine side as well as, his feminine side. And a lot of men, they do have a masculine side as well as a feminine side. Even though, they exude masculinity, you know, that's not a bad thing to tap into their feminine side and be soft every now and again, you know, and still be heterosexual, male, alpha male. So here they are with a dilemma. Two egos clashing. Both of them are alpha male. So somebody has to be the voice of reason. So I'm thinking behind the scenes, Snoop Dogg, he's real close buddies with Master P. He's seeing himself in this because he also has a son that's close to Master P's son's age, Romeo's age, right? So I'm pretty sure he's doing some counseling with Master P behind the scenes and, consoling him and encouraging him and giving him some advice, as well as some other men that Master P um, admires and respects. And I saw Deion Sanders in the comment section on Master P's Instagram page last night, and he was saying, "Preach." He appreciated what Master P was saying in his video. And he had posted several videos, because he really felt like he needed to speak up in his own defense after a lot of the blogs were dragging him. And rightfully so, but he said he made it clear, this is a private family matter and he's not going to be entertaining a lot of the blogs, but he did make it a point to say that he felt like the shade room is the devil. I want to agree with him. And they haven't this is not their first time being called out. The shade room is a whole trip and they tend to pick sides and have their favorite celebrities. And some celebrities, I noticed, when they have issues, they won't dare speak out about it. They won't dare post about it. They will remain neutral and they won't even post about it at all. Such as, you know, people like Beyonce or Rihanna or um, Nicki Minaj. Those people, they protect them. The Shade Room protects them. They won't post about them. I've noticed that. Yeah, they have their favorites. But certain ones, they'll throw them under the Shade Room. Yeah. And they'll post all of their dirty laundry. But anyway, I digress. So, you know, Master P, he has been grieving as well as Romeo. His daughter, Romeo's sister, Tatiana, who recently passed away from, um, I think it was suicide. I'm not sure, or drug overdose or something like that. And I didn't know that she had a daughter. I think she has a daughter that just turned 4 years old. I don't know who's raising her. Maybe Sonia, Master P's ex-wife. I'm not really sure. But Romeo, that really impacted him when his sister died. And he really obviously felt like Master P wasn't grieving and being as sensitive about the subject matter and the situation as a whole as he felt like he should have been. So when Master P recently posted his condolences relating to DJ Twitch, Ellen DeGeneres DJ, committing suicide, and he was really responding to Snoop Dogg acknowledging it. And so that really touched and rubbed Romeo the wrong way. And he felt like here his dad is, acknowledging DJ Twitch when, he felt like he wasn't even this emotional about his own daughter and his other children who are suffering from a lot of depression and such. So, um, I'm seeing that someone, Charleston White, he went off on Romeo, and a lot of men, black men, are not feeling Romeo, you know, going off on his dad on social media. And I can understand why they're feeling like that. They feel like as a child, even though Romeo is grown with hair all over his face and a big wide chest, he is still a child, and a child should stay in their place and respect and honor the dad, whether he's right or wrong. And I want to agree with that. He's always acknowledging that he has a fear of God, he believes in God, and he reads the Bible. He's quoting Bible scriptures, him and his dad, Master P, both. And the Bible is very clear: honor your mother and father. Okay? This is not honorable what excuse me. This is not honorable what Romeo did, even though he's upset and he's all in his feelings, you know. And I can understand he feels like he can't talk to his dad, and that's frustrating for him, right? But I feel like, as a man, and, you know, that comes with a level of maturity. And he really should develop some stronger um, attributes as it relates to, you know, holding a lot more in. But it's easy for me to say that, right? Because I'm on the outside looking in. I don't know how long Romeo has held it in, and now he's bursting at the seams. He can't take it anymore. So I have to look at it from that perspective too, right? And Master P, he does seem like he might be a bit headstrong, you know, and he don't want to hear all of that what Romeo has said, and he feels like maybe they've already talked about it, and he doesn't want to just dwell on the same things over and over and over and over again. But as a parent, and I am very familiar with scenarios such as that because um I had a sibling, and their child was really bothered by some things that were affecting them, and they was always bringing it up to my sibling, and they were like, well, we've already talked about that before. This is a dead horse. This is a mute subject. I don't want to hear it anymore. And this was affecting my sibling's child. Even though they are grown, they still felt like, hey, this is an unresolved matter. We need to keep on talking about this until I'm good and satisfied. And I felt the same way, but they were like, oh, you don't have a child. You don't know what you're talking about. And I felt like that was erroneous because even though I don't have any living children, I still am a human being that has a brain, and I can make a lot of informed decisions, you know, and just thinking from a logical standpoint in any relationship, whether it be, a parent and a child, or two co-workers, or it might be your church member, or it might be a customer service issue. You have an issue, and no matter how long it takes to talk about it, and the resolution, it starts with communication. You have to have dialogue in order to um go down the path to seek a solution. And for some people, it may be resolved within a few moments, within the same day, within a couple of months, within a couple of years. But it may take several years, and you have to be willing to be patient and hear the other person out. And you may not feel the same way as that other person, and you may think, oh, this is ridiculous. I can't believe we're still talking about this 5 years later, 15 years later, 25 years later. We're still talking about the same thing. Get over it. You may feel like they need to get over it. This is ridiculous. And the other person may feel like, no, we still haven't gotten anywhere towards a resolution. So I'm still feeling the same way I felt the very first day that we started talking about it. And you're like, oh my God, get out of here. And the other person's like, maybe feeling like you're being unreasonable, right? And you don't see the same way about the situation. So you gotta have someone to mediate, perhaps, and you know, be there to offer some conflict resolution. So, especially if both parties are headstrong, right? If both of y'all are headstrong, you cannot get anywhere, okay? Because I want to see it my way, you want to see it your way. So, hey, how are we going to resolve the matter? If both of us are seeing it our own way, and both of us are headstrong, both of us have big egos, it's not going to work. So you got to seek outside voices, you know, maybe on a public forum or maybe private counseling. But you got to do something. You just can't just, keep going in this same toxic way, especially when you say this is someone you love, right? And you want to salvage the relationship. Otherwise, it's just going to keep going and going and going, and it's going to come bust. And this is how a lot of family members they get hurt. And sometimes one may kill the other because so much rage is building up, right? How many times, I pray to God it doesn't happen, but how many times have we heard of a dad killing his son, or his son killing his father? Marvin Gaye, you remember Marvin Gaye? His dad killed him, and I'm pretty sure he regrets it. He regretted it after it happened, but so much of the rage and anger and hostility, it was just burning him up inside. And when this goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on, something, it's just like pressure, it busts pipes. And you know, you never know what will happen until it happens. And then a lot of times when it happens, you can't take it back. Just like now, Romeo, I'm pretty sure a lot of things that he did say, he may want to backtrack, but he can't take it back. A lot of things that Master P said, he can't take it back. But they can only move forward and, you know, make amends with each other and just start their relationship again and just try to go about resolving things in a different way. But this is all a part of becoming a man. Just like if it was a daughter and a mom, you're having growing pains. This is a part of growing pains. So, you know, this is a big hurdle that they both have to get over. And I'm hoping for the best of them for them because I like both of them and I want to see them continuously have this fabulous son and dad relationship. And Romeo says it's all about an image. It's not how his dad portrays it to be. Well, that doesn't mean that it can't be that way. You know, they have to. Let me tell you something. A lot of people shy away from these uncomfortable conversations. And a lot of these uncomfortable conversations, they're oftentimes very inconvenient conversations. And somebody's going to say something that's very hurtful, very embarrassing, because you may feel like, oh, you're the perfect dad. You provided financially, so they should just be, happy to be alive and live a better life than what you lived when you were younger, right? And the kid may feel like, hey, that's not enough. I needed more from you. And you're like, what? I gave you everything that I didn't have. And, you're not going to see the whole situation the same way. And you got to talk it out. And it's going to take everybody involved being willing to sit down, turn your cell phones off, turn social media off, turn the computers off, and just lock down with each other and listen to each other's heart. Hearing and listening is two different things. A lot of people hear, but they don't listen. And another thing, when someone is trying to talk, you can't progress in the resolution of the conflict if the other person or other persons are talking over you. And a lot of times they're talking over you because they don't want to hear what you are saying. Because what you're saying is very truthful and is very hurtful and it's very inconvenient for them. And they may be in denial about whatever you're accusing them of, right? So, Master P, he may think he's a perfect dad. And, he provided so many opportunities for his son that his son should be grateful for. He shouldn't have any complaints at all whatsoever. And Master P may feel offended because here his son is 30 plus years later. He's feeling like his son is so ungrateful. And he's feeling resentful, right? And I can see from his perspective, you know. But then on Romeo's end, he may feel like, well, I could be further along in my career if my dad had not taken my money when I was little Romeo, because he said he didn't see any of his money from his little Romeo days because his dad was taking his money and paying his taxes to the IRS. And from Master P's perspective, he may feel like, well, we needed all the money coming in, all the income coming in the house to live, to grow, and establish this fabulous life that I afforded my family. And now they're living the best life that they are able to live instead of being over there in the hood, you know, where he came from, because of the sacrifices that he felt was necessary to make. So because he took the money from little Romeo when he was little Romeo, and he invested and paid the taxes in order to establish themselves, they are able to live the better life that they are living now. Because Master P, he had to get all those houses. Well, he didn't have to get them, but he did get them. So that was his way of investing, right? He was making investments. So Romeo benefited from a lot of that, and he's still benefiting from it. He may not live the fabulous multi-million-dollar life that he could have, but Master P may be looking at it like, well, he was established, and he gave him the opportunities and opened the doors, helped to open the doors for little Romeo. So little Romeo, as he got older, maybe Master P is looking at it like this: well, I gave him the tools so he could have been doing more to compensate for what I had to do with his money, to pay the taxes and all this other stuff behind the scenes. And he could have came on and contributed more based on his talents. He could have been earning more money and adding to what Master P had to withdraw from, what they had to work with as far as the finances. And he's got all those other kids. He still got to take care of all those other kids. He still got to take care of all those bills. And then his ex-wife, Sonia, Romeo's mom. Okay, she's developing a drug habit that I'm pretty sure Master P and his inner circle introduced her to. Okay, and then Master P is out there messing around with all those women and getting all those side babies, outside babies. Okay, that's causing stress on Sonya. So I can see why she had to put up with so much infidelity and blah 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 blah. So I can see why she would be um feeling like, she's got to turn to drugs. I would advise her, if I was, around her, well, turn to Jesus, don't turn to the drugs. But that's what was her choice. Okay, she turned to the drugs, and it just really contributed to the spiraling of their relationship and their whole family. All of this impacted everything, and it all started out so well. They were high school sweethearts, and just like with a lot of couples, when fortune and fame is introduced to the equation, it destroys these couples. And we've seen it so many times. It destroys a lot of families. For me, I would say fortune and fame, that would be a blessing. Oh, that would be such a blessing to have, this seemingly overnight success and all this money that I haven't had since, when I was a child. And then all of a sudden I get all this money and all this fortune, and oh, it would be so wonderful. But, it's all in how a lot of people handle it. A lot of people can't handle fortune and fame and everything that comes with it. And then you have all of these influences and vices right there gnawing at you. And you got to be strong enough to resist a lot of these temptations out here that comes with the allure of fame and fortune. So, you know, it would be great if they. Now, look, Master P, he has been making all these movies, and a lot of them have been really good, right? That's a movie that he needs to make. The movie documentary about him and Sonya's love affair and their family. Now that's one right there that would be a stellar movie right there, okay? Oh gosh, it's so many. They probably already have made bits and pieces of movies about it, but we need the whole shebang. We need the whole shebang. It's so much surrounding that whole relationship that a lot of us have yet to hear and see, and the dark side of it, the real story about it. That's the story that we need to see on film. And you know Master P, he wants to be so private. I'm so sick of it. I'm sick of it. Yeah, sure, as a public figure they deserve to have some privacy, but look, in a situation like this, I almost want to say, F the privacy, Master P. Give us all of it, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Let us inside your house, okay? This is just too juicy. I'm serious. This is just too juicy. And I need Master P and the whole family to sit down on somebody's couch and just let us see what's going on. Because, we have looked at them like the Huxtables, right? We've looked at them like the perfect family. At least I have. And this is just really, really blowing me and my wig away. It's like, wow, my perfect celebrity couple is having all these problems, and I just can't believe. Last night when I saw it for the first time on the blogs, I had to hold my heart like Fred Sanford. I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. And I'm like, right before Christmas, really, all of these relationships are having such difficulty around the Christmas holidays. And you would think this is a time for them to be together and celebrating and being closer to each other. And it's so many of these families and relationships, situations just crumbling around the holidays. But anyway, um, it's very, very unfortunate that Romeo and Master P are having these difficulties in their relationship, and I'm just really, really surprised. I just can't believe it. Oh my gosh. And oh my God, Master P, as big as he is, I'm not so sure that he want to talk so rough with Romeo, because Romeo is a big, 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 big boy now. And I would just hate for them to get into a fight, because I think Romeo would win. I think Romeo would win. He's so buff and so big. Master P, as big as he is, he's gotten a little older, okay? He's gotten a little older and a little slower than what he was before. And I think he's underestimating Little Romeo. Little Romeo has a lot of anger inside of him. I can tell by his posts. Let's listen at some of his posts, child. I'm just but first let's listen at Charleston White. Charleston White has weighed in on this, and then we're gonna read some of the posts. And so many people have so much to say about this. Let's listen to Charleston White and see what he has to say about it. Okay. Hold on a minute. Ooh, child. Um, well, first, let's listen at, I'm so sick of it. Today a sad day because I gotta Master get out of character and put this on the internet, which I don't want to do. But I try to call my son. People say, why you call? I did. He don't call back. It's been months. So my question is to Romeo. Like, if you've been in the business for long as you've been in, and you're a 30-something-year-old man, and if you've been around me, watching me hustle and do my thing, why are you not where you want to be at? Because that means you're not listening. That means you want to do your own thing. You done brought your own circle of people.
But you can't get mad at me because I really thought this was about the only reason I entertained this on social media. I thought it was about the DJ Twitch post I put up, and I thought it was about my daughter's death. I thought you was grieving. Mental illness is real. But I want to tell all the people out there that just don't understand how bad my heart hurt. Romeo lost a sister, but I lost a daughter. And for any parent that's going through this, because I know that it bring people closer together or it tear them apart. But I come from nothing, y'all. And I could go back. I'm cool with it. I won't be angry at God. I won't be upset. I won't go get mad and be disrespectful to my parents and none of that stuff. I just say, Dad, thank you for putting me in this world. Now I can get out and hustle and go do my thing. But that's the problem. When you take kids and you kind of like protect them from the real struggle and the pain, and you don't allow them to deal with their own consequences. And then when they grow older, you never gave me nothing. At 30-something, man, people could go back and look, you've been shining for a long time, son. All you got to do is pick up the phone and call me or come to the house and holler at me. The saddest thing about this is what the people want to see. They want to see destruction. So if you destroy me, what are you going to do for the rest of the family? Are you going to take care? You told me on the post that you put up, you go take care of people in the community. That's what you're supposed to do when you come from nothing. You go help people. I'm just not helping ungrateful people. I'm not an ATM machine. People can't just say they love me when I give them something. I'm tired of that, y'all. And any other parents, you could be rich or poor at a smaller level. You might give your kid $10, but if that's all you got, I've always fell off, got back up, hustled, did my thing. I'm tired of all these blog sites and all this stuff, poking and having fun. Y'all can, but I'm about to go back to work and do what I got to do. I love my family. My door is always open for my son. To be honest, because we shouldn't have to go through this. And if I'm wrong, forgive me. I'm apologizing to you if I'm wrong. I'm still a work in progress. I come from nothing. Everybody go through trauma. I'm dealing with this right now, but I love going out into the community and helping people. That's the way I heal. Allow me to heal. I don't have to be sitting around moaning and crying and all. I can't get my daughter back. But I can get out there and keep a legacy going, keep a name going. So let's do this in love and let's do this in peace. Because this is what the system wants. Think about it. We stronger together. But you older now. So you got to lead by example for the rest of the kids. And we can get through this. I'm just telling y'all, keep y'all prayers. We need it. And God gonna do what he got to do. You know, I'm not gonna come on here no more. So bloggers and everything else is cool. Whatever you want to deal with Romeo. Whatever y'all think he's saying is true or whatever, that's cool too. I can live with it. I'm at peace now. I had to speak my piece.
I really, I really respect what Master P is saying, and I really feel like Romeo, he went too far. And even though they can patch up and reconcile their relationship, this is still a stain on the family and on their relationship that he cannot take back. And I really, I really feel bad for Romeo because now that he's has thrown his dad under the bus, the whole world is looking at him crazy. And you may have some kids or some adults that's supporting him. And these are people that probably didn't even have a dad. And, they have been hating on Master P all along. So they glad that his son is, disrespecting him on social media. And some of their family members might be even, supporting Romeo doing this because they have been hating on Master P all along too. But I really feel like, you know, this has put the other kids, Master P's other kids, in a very difficult position because now they have to choose. Are they going to be on Romeo's side? Are they going to be on Master P's side? Okay, where are we going to spend Christmas dinner? Christmas is coming up in a few days. Where are they going to spend Christmas dinner? And who are they going to get Christmas gifts for if they celebrate it that way? They may feel like, well, I don't know if I want to give Master P, our dad, some Christmas gifts or go over to his house for dinner because Romeo may get upset. And then if I do give some gifts for Romeo or go over to Romeo's house for dinner, our dad, Master P, he may get upset. Let's put them in a very, very tight spot, and, you know, they don't know if they should call Master P, their dad, and talk to him about the situation because Romeo may get upset and they don't want to isolate him. Or if they call or text Romeo, they don't want to hear him talk disrespectful about their dad. So this is putting them in a very, very, very difficult situation, right? Very difficult situation. And not only that, it's having a domino effect. It's having a ripple effect. Romeo has children now. Okay? So this is going to affect their relationship with their granddad. Okay? Because Romeo, he might want to restrict his children from having a relationship with his dad because of how he feels about his dad. He's having a whole lot of resentment and hostility towards his dad. They may or may not resolve it. So, this is very, very, very bad. And I think they can get past it. But now that Romeo done put it online, this is making it very difficult. And there's a lot of Master P's supporters that's gonna start looking at him in a different kind of way. They may feel like, ooh, I didn't know he was, this type of person. Because even if he's not the type of person, a lot of people are easily influenced, and it only takes a little bit of somebody else saying something about you, and then that'll cause them to look at you a different way, right? Even if it's not true. So, this can also impact Master P's business relationships and a lot of his associations in the industry, amongst other celebrities. So, this is a very, very fragile, very, very fine line that has to be considered. And it's almost like you throwing Romeo is throwing a bomb or a cocktail bomb, into a little path of gasoline, you know, and it's already a whole lot that's against Master P. He's already trying to develop this food brand with in partnership with Snoop Dogg, and they are already facing a whole lot of resistance, and a lot of people already don't want them to, develop this food brand. So this right here, okay, this might cause them to say, "Oh no, we want to back away from this because this is a lot of bad publicity. We don't want to be associated with this." So this is going to impact Romeo and their family because this is the way that Master P is able to put additional food on the table and money in their pockets, right? So Romeo, he let his feelings, his emotions really interfere with what's really important. A lot of times you have to really step back and say, is this even worth it? Is it really that important for me? And then to put it out there on social media. This is a private family matter. And even though Romeo felt like, well, I can't talk to him. The only way I can talk to him is on social media. He don't listen to me in private. I've tried that for years to talk to him in private, and he won't listen to me. Okay, maybe you need to take it from that perspective to take it another perspective or approach it in another way. Okay, it's so many ways that you can approach a situation. Okay, if this way is not working, okay, try another way. Okay, you've been going over there and talking to him, you feel like he's deflecting. Okay, that didn't work. Okay, you tried to text him, he's deflecting on the text message. Okay, well, how about You bring in somebody else, a professional counselor, and you say, Dad, I would like to go to counseling with you, okay? And don't go over there hollering all in his face. And it's not always what you say, is how you say it, okay? And tell him, look, this is really hurting me. This is really hurting me. We need to talk. And I can't talk to you. So I think we should go to a professional person and sit down and work this out, okay? It's a whole lot of ways that Romeo could have approached this without taking it to social media. When he took it to social media, he took it too far. And this has really hurt his dad, you know. And he's showing it and he's saying it in so many ways, and I can hear it in his voice. He never saw it coming. He never, and it's almost like a form of betrayal, and then for it to come from someone so close to him, someone who he loves so much, and he never would have thought his own son, his firstborn, would do this to him. That's what hurts his heart more. It hurts more. He didn't see it coming from his own son, someone so close to him. But that's how Satan works. He always uses the one closest to you to hurt you the most. That's why I don't like to have a lot of people around me. And, you know, it's just terrible. It's just terrible. And I'm hurting for Master P. And it's not even me. But I can almost feel like it's me because I'm putting myself in that position. If this was my daughter or my son, I would be mad as hell. They're going on social media with our personal family business. I would want to disown this child, no matter however much I loved him. You out of the will. I don't even care if I don't even have that much. You out of the will. Okay? I don't even want to talk to you anymore. I can't trust you. I can't trust you. If you're telling them about this, what more want you tell them? Okay, you don't do that, especially to your mom or your dad. Some things you just don't do. And that's one thing you don't do. You don't go on social media and just throw your dad or your mom under the bus, especially if you love them. See, I can't trust Romeo now. I can't trust him because what has he been doing behind Masterpiece's back all this time? He's been building resentment against Masterpiece. It makes me think that he may have been doing a lot of shisty stuff behind Masterpiece's back to prepare for this day. Yeah, he might be doing a lot of things to double cross Master P. And it's been building up, and he's been building his war chest. He's going to war against his dad. And Master P didn't even see it coming. And his own son has positioned himself to destroy him. And, you know, this goes beyond just a little disagreement. This is it makes me think that maybe somebody else has been sitting around all in Romeo's ear. I know his mama's been doing it, you know, but I think it's somebody else also. And he mentioned it in his one of his posts on social media, Romeo. He said something about his two uncles, C Murder and Silk the Shocker. He said they know all about how you been doing. See, that makes me think that Silk the Shocker and C Murder have been betraying their brother. You don't do that. You don't do that. Even though I'm guilty of it myself. But as far as really being evil about it. It's okay if you want to get with your nieces or nephews and listen at them, get some things off of their chest. But when you start just really being low down about it and throwing your sibling under the bus, to side with your niece or nephew, that's a whole nother thing. Okay. And I haven't been seeing Silk the Shocker with Master P. They used to be back in the day, which lets me think maybe they done fell out too. And I said to myself, now wait a minute. I gotta see both sides of the aisle in this. Okay, Master P done fell out with C Murder, even though C Murder's in prison. And, there's been a little talk about the No Limit uh artists. They've been feeling like Master P didn't pay him what he should have been paying them. They've been having some discrepancies with Master P. And now his own son. Okay, so now, okay. So we got a situation on our hands. So, Master P, I know he wants this to be a private matter, but now that his son has made it a public matter, I'm gonna give him a couple of days to, you know, hash it out behind the scenes, and then I need them to go ahead and sit on somebody's public couch and let us all work through this together. Okay? And maybe they can just go ahead and go into production and start another reality show and just put it all out there. Put it all out there totally. Okay? And we can work it out together. All of us. Okay? At this point, that seems like the only resolution. Now that Romeo done took it too far, okay, we can't turn around. Now that Romeo done took it too far, he done took it too far. And when they take it too far, we got to go all the way. Okay, it ain't no turning back. Now that Romeo done took it too far, we got to go all the way with it. And now that he done put us in the group chat, we have the right to stay in or jump out of the group chat. Now I want to stay in the group chat myself, and I want Romeo to shut up and keep on talking. Okay, I want this is just too juicy. It's too juicy, and I want to hear some more. Am I the only one that want to hear some more? I want Romeo to tell some more. I want to respect Master P. He want everything to be private. He want us to be quiet about it. But at the same time, what about how I feel? What about what I want? I want to hear some more of their business. Okay, I want to hear some more of their family business. I want to hear some more. And the outside children, where are they at? Zenfonika, whatever her name is. The outside children. I think all of them need to sit on somebody's couch. And I've been wanting to hear what Sonya got to say about the outside children and how she was feeling so lonely in that great big old house. So many nights and days when some other woman was rubbing all over her husband, and her husband was all over somebody else's daughter. And how does she feel about all that? I want to hear what Sonya has to say and how that drove her to the drug house and all of this and all of that. I think we deserve to hear some more. And child, this is too much. And let's hear what Charleston has to say. Charleston White has to say something about it. Okay, let's listen at what he has to say something. He got something to say about it. Hold on. Something sinister is okay. Hold on. Hold on. Child. All these commercials. All these commercials, child. Okay, hold on a minute. Say, listen, somebody tag Master P. Okay. Somebody tag Master P right now. I stand with Master P, homie, as a black father. See, when you got one of them old spoiled ass kids like that little boy Romeo, little spoiled motherfucker, little old bitty small motherfucker, he been entitled, ain't never had to struggle for nothing.
Nigga, your daddy took $10,000 from an insurance policy and became a multi-millionaire. Your daddy just didn't feed your household, nigga. He fed many households and many other kids. For you to grow up, nigga, you really like a Nickelodeon baby. Now, I'm saying fuck you, Romeo Miller. Nigga, I'm with your daddy on this one. That's why I tell you sometimes you gotta say fuck them kids. Remember them kids grow up and go to talking how Romeo talking, take his motherfucking ass out the wheel. Don't leave his motherfucking ass shit. If that little boy is Romeo Miller and he's struggling from check to check, he dumb and stupid. And listen, didn't the boy go to college? Say, Romeo, listen, nigga, you went to college. Your daddy put you in a position, nigga, where your daddy ain't got to give you nothing, nigga. Fuck you talking about. Now, here it is, and I'm in the airport right now. But, nigga, I just heard Master P, nigga, it break my heart that a nigga son will grow up and bite on him like the way you biting on your daddy. All you spoiled motherfucking kids, nigga, 50 Cent kid, Will Smith kid, nigga, you need your ass kicked. You need your motherfucking ass kicked, nigga. Now think about this, nigga. Your daddy done put you in position, right? Didn't you have a rap album? You say, well, I ain't got no money because my daddy had to pay taxes. Who been feeding your long head ass? Who been feeding you? Then you complaining about, oh, we've been staying in the same house since I was 18. Say, you stupid ass kid. Listen. That's a sign of a man that has stability, that's stable. You know how many people wish they could stay in the same motherfucking household from when they were 18 years old? Nigga, that mean your father has been stable with stability, maintaining what he done got. Nigga, what's wrong with you? Man, I hate you spoiled ass motherfucking kid. Boy, me and my son done fall out like a motherfucker. Nigga, I done pumped this dick off. I done pumped this cum off into your mama. Boy, you know how hard a nigga got to work to bust a nut to make a baby? Say, now listen, do you know how hard a nigga got to work to bust a nut to make a baby to get one of you motherfuckers on earth? You know how you don't know how many pumps and humps that nigga humped on your mama, nigga pumping that dick off another to make you, nigga. Then when you get here, nigga, you know how much energy you take from a nigga when he come. You know all that cum shooting up out that dick. You know how weak a nigga knees and leg get to get your little stupid ass up. And then when you get here, nigga, your daddy is a millionaire. Boy, when I hate you motherfucker, you don't know what it's like, nigga, to go to bed home.
I love Charleston White. And I agree with Charleston. Charleston wants Romeo taking out the wheel. And I want Romeo taking out the wheel. I mean, this is just ridiculous. You know what? Romeo is entitled. And I can't believe that he's complaining about staying in the same house for 18 years. Do you see how big that house is? I can think of a whole lot of things to complain about, but I sure wouldn't complain about staying in that great big old house for 18 years. Oh my God. See, let me tell you what the problem is. Romeo, he has been born practically with a silver spoon in his mouth. Romeo has never had to struggle. Romeo has been hanging out with all of them celebrity kids. Okay. And he has been looking at how they living and how they able to bounce around from one mansion to another, you know, and just use millions of dollars for toilet paper and have all these $1 million mansions and as vacation homes in different cities and all over the world and living on islands and vacation on islands and things. See, that's what he's looking at. He's looking at his friends. Those friends and co-workers who he working with on those movie sets. He looking at their lifestyle. And I think that's so selfish of Romeo if that's how he's looking at it. That's so selfish. And you know what it's going to take for Romeo? It's going to take Romeo being served some humility casserole. It's going to take Romeo being served a couple of slices of humble pie. Oh, yeah. God is going to have to humble Romeo. Okay? Because he haven't seen the other side of the lifestyle that his dad and God has afforded him. He has never had to struggle. None of his siblings have had to struggle. Romeo don't even know how good he has it. I tell you what. I tell you what. I got a solution for Romeo. I got a solution for Romeo. Since he wants to be the way he's been, how about we trade places? I want Master P to adopt me, okay? And I will be the son that Romeo will not be, and he's tired of being. I will identify as a man. I'll put a mustache on my face and some hair on my chest, okay? I will be Romeo Jr., okay? Since Romeo don't appreciate his spot, let us trade spots. I bet I'll appreciate Master P as my dad, and I will be obedient. I will be quiet, and I'll get somewhere and sit down and appreciate that position. Yeah, Romeo, he done got beside himself. He done got beside himself, and he feels entitled. And I can understand somewhat where Romeo is coming from, but I can't understand totally. I think he's being very, very unreasonable, and he's being very, very unfair. And he might also be holding some hostility from how the situation played out between Master P and his mom Sonya, and he had been holding that for a long time. And then with his sister dying, he took that very, very personal because maybe he felt like his dad should not have been working as hard and been out there, messing around with all these different women, and he should have been more attentive to his sister and his other siblings, as well as him. And maybe a lot of things that happened to Romeo in the industry when he was out there trying to audition for different movie gigs and trying to get it at the mud in that capacity. How they say some things be happening to people, when people taking advantage of them sexually, when they're trying to break in the movie industry. And maybe it happened, and maybe Master P didn't know about it, or maybe Master P encouraged it and told him, look, son, we got to make some sacrifices, okay? And maybe Romeo went along with it. And now he's feeling disgusted. Now he's feeling like he should have done more to protect him. Something else is going on with Romeo that's causing him to have this much fuel and this much smoke for his dad. Now, come on now. I think it's something real, real heavy that Romeo has been holding inside. And now he's feeling like, F it. I'm going to tell everything. And so maybe, just maybe, he might be also trying to extort his dad. And he might be saying, look, I'm going to tell everybody this if you don't give me this money, or if you don't do this or do that for me, I'm going to tell it. So this is really heavy, right? And this could get real, real, real ugly, real, real fast. So I really, I really, really don't want this to get really as ugly as it could. And Master P, he doesn't want everything to be told. But Romeo, he's feeling like he needs to empty himself of all this burden that he's been carrying. He feels like he needs to just unload all of this stuff that he's been carrying around in his chest. And, you know, I think he might give his dad a chance. But his dad might be like, because he's strong headed, just like Romeo is. Both of them are strong headed. And when Romeo goes to say certain things to Master P, he might be like, whoa, 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 son. Whoa, son, you going too far. I don't want to hear that. Don't even bring that up. And then Romeo gonna be like, see, I've been trying to talk to you about this. Every time you shut me down, every time you shut me down, you shut me out. And then, they're not gonna get nowhere. And that's gonna make Romeo wanna blow up on him. And just go back to the blog, go back to Instagram and type up some more stuff. And that's when Master P gonna get super mad. Okay, he's already mad. And he cannot take his keyboard because now Romeo is a man. Okay. And he can't send him to his room because he got his own house. So they're in a position where this could just get real ugly, okay? Real, real, real ugly. Oh, this is terrible. This is really, really terrible. And what about this part? What about this part right here? What about, okay, Romeo has some brothers, he has some sisters, he has some cousins, he got some uncles, he got some aunts on both sides of the family. His mama's side, his daddy's side. Some of them might feel inclined to side with and defend Romeo. Some of them might get really into their feelings, right? And they might try to step to Master P. Or they might get online and start telling some stuff, okay? Or some of them might try to get dirty and say, Master P, okay, you need to send me you need to cash out me $100,000, or I'm gonna tell this, or I'm gonna send the blogs these pictures. You know what I'm saying? It could get real ugly. It could get real ugly. And I'm pretty sure somebody in the family or somebody that's a friend of the family that's sitting around right now plotting. They're sitting around right now plotting that they didn't like Master P or they didn't like Romeo. And they've been waiting to do them dirty all along. So now, and they need some money, right? So now they can easily go to TMZ, call TMZ and send them all of this stuff, okay? And get some fast cash. Or it might just make them feel good just to throw them on the bus because they've been jealous of them all along. But, you know, this is really, really terrible. And I feel so bad for Master P because as a dad, you just don't expect your child to do you like this. Especially when you've been feeding them all these years. And then they bite you like Charleston White said. They bite you like a dog. Oh my gosh. Ooh, this is terrible. This is just terrible, 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 terrible. Woo. Child, you don't expect your child to bite you like a dog after you done fed them all those years. And then they bring you to tears. I just can't believe it. And I'm pretty sure Master P, he didn't sleep well last night. I'm pretty sure he did not sleep well last night. And now, even though he say he done with the blogs, I'm pretty sure he done got up this morning looking at the blogs and trying to see what everybody got to say. And, you know, I think it's just terrible that his own son, done did him like this. And ooh, Father's Day gonna be compromised after this. Father's Day ain't gonna be the same after this. And I don't know how they're gonna recover from this. I really don't know how they're gonna be able to recover from this. I really don't know. But it's gonna take a lot of church. They both have a lot of faith, a strong faith in God and everything. It's gonna. They need to call the preacher over to the house. Okay, they need to call the preacher over there to the house. And ooh, I don't know. I don't know what Romeo gonna be able to do to redeem himself because he done showed out by doing this. And his dad is not gonna look at him the same. I don't think. How can you trust your child after they do you like this? I don't. I wouldn't want him over to my house. I wouldn't trust him over at my house behind this. You know, you. Ugh, it's a lot to. It's a lot to consider. It's a lot to consider. Okay, and man, it's just a hurtful situation. It's a hurtful situation. It really is. And I feel bad that Master P's son done did him like this. And then to do it so publicly, that's the part right there that really hurts. It would have been one thing if he had did it behind the scenes amongst the family. But for him to take it to social media, oh, that makes it so many times worse. Ooh, oh my God. You know, you would expect a stranger to do you like that, but your own child, you don't expect your own child to do you like that. But this social media, it has it has been a good thing and it has been a bad thing for a lot of people. You know, so many people use it as a weapon to harm people, and so many people use it as a tool to do good things, right? And a lot of people don't have social media etiquette, and they're so. Let me tell you what's happening. They're so accustomed to oversharing, and we have made oversharing the norm. Will Smith and Jada Pinkett, they are the oversharing king and queen, right? And so many people have subscribed to oversharing. And a lot of the reality shows have encouraged oversharing. A lot of the bloggers and YouTubers and content creators and influencers, they have encouraged oversharing. So now a lot of people have been acclimated into the oversharing culture. So now this is the go-to button for a lot of people when they feel pressed and under pressure and upset and emotional, you know. And we're dealing with a whole different generation, and you know, we're having to adjust with one generation being crossbred with another one. You know, we had a certain decorum, okay, that we have established our generation. But this new generation, they don't have no decorum. They just believe in doing them, do what they feel like, you know, and just move in their emotions. But you know, the cultures, the generations, they are certainly clashing, okay? And for the most part, let me tell you what's happening. Regardless of the financial status, the chickens have come home to roost. A lot of these people who had these kids 20, 30 years ago, they weren't really established and they were on the move. They're trying to build their careers. They're chasing the bag. They're chasing their dream. They're out there, you know, in the hip hop arena, going from shows to concerts to this to that. And they had these kids along the way, and they didn't really have time to stay at home and parent because they was trying to provide, you know, financially for their families, for their kids, right? One way or another, you know. whether they were a celebrity or just a regular ordinary person who was on welfare. They were still out there at the clubs, out there at the concert, going from city to city, doing their own thing. And the kids were pretty much at home raising themselves. So now we have these, what they call latchkey kids. They have grown up by themselves. Their peers were their parents, their co-parents, pretty much. And a lot of these TV shows and radio shows and a lot of this social media was their surrogate mom and dad, and that was a big influence on them. So a lot of these kids were learning things along the way that they didn't necessarily share with their mom and their dad. A lot of them didn't even have a dad. So that created a barrier, right? They didn't share a lot of things with their mom, dad, their family, or whatever. So they were pretty much strangers in the same house. So the parents missed a lot of signs, and they were growing up with someone who was pretty much a stranger. And the only thing they had in common was the fact that they were the mom and the kid was the child. So, you know, here we are 20, 30 years later, and a lot of this music has shaped our culture, right? And that has influenced a lot of these kids. And a lot of them have developed no respect for their parents, no respect for authority, period. And all of that has shaped the culture, and it has been accepted for the most part. So now, here we are, 20, 30 years later, we're realizing, hey, I don't know my kid. I'm the parent. I don't know my kid. My kid is being disrespectful to me. My kid is telling me all this stuff that they wanted to say that when there was a kid, but they wouldn't say it when there was a kid because they know I will pop them in their mouth. So now they so big and strong and big and bad, they feel like they can stand toe to toe with me and tell me to my face and say it with their chest what they wanted to say when they was 5 years old, but they wouldn't say it when they was 5 years old. But now they feel like it ain't gonna be no consequences because they feel like they in the same level as me, and they don't really respect me as their parent. That's pretty much what we're dealing with now. And like I say, the chickens have come home to roost. And when these kids were smaller, the parents didn't want to discipline them, right? They felt like, oh, I'm not gonna raise them how my parents raised them. I'm gonna give them what I didn't have. So a lot of them allow material things substitute or stand in as a substitute parent while they was away out there in the streets getting it out the mud and doing what they wanted to do. So the kids use all these games, these PlayStations as a pacifier, and doing whatever kids do or wanted to do. They gave them money, but they didn't give them quality time. They gave them all these gifts and bicycles and motorcycles and this, that, and the other, but they didn't give them quality time. They didn't give them discipline. They didn't give them what they needed. And now a lot of these kids have so much built up hostility towards their parents. And the difference is now those kids are grown. They're 25, 35 years old. So you're dealing with 25 years worth of anger aimed straight at you. Yeah, 25, 35 years worth. What are you going to do with that? Oh my God. That's like a 18 wheeler headed straight in your head. A head on collision. That's like a head on collision with a 18 wheeler or a dump truck headed straight at you. What in the hell are you going to do with that? all of that anger, all of that hostility. Yeah, and you've been sitting across the table from it at dinner time, thinking everything is cool, thinking everything is sweet. And this monster has been growing and growing and growing, and you've been feeding it. You have been clothing it, you've been buying it gifts. Yes, you even let it drive your car. Yes, and now here we are. Here we are going head to head with a monster, a full-grown monster that's been fed by us, the parent. Okay, you even swam in the same swimming pool when it was a little boy or a little girl. You did his hair. You took it to get haircuts. Y'all even wore the same bomber jackets. You walked it to school. You picked it up from school. You fixed it lunch. Y'all went out to the movies and ate pizza and all this stuff. Now, here you are having to fight your own kid, either verbally or physically. Yes. And you don't have no other choice because they may never even want to talk to you. They may want to just fight it out, fist to fist, fight it out like two niggas out there in the street. Yes, and it's so many of them. It's so many of these parents that's done had to do that with their child. Yes, so many of these kids have killed their parents. Look, not too long ago, that 10-year-old boy. And then we need to do a video and talk about that either this week or next week. I want to talk about that little boy so bad. That's a whole demon. A whole demon. Killed his mama. Yeah. Took a gun, took her gun. And see, I'm telling y'all, a lot of y'all don't see the signs. These kids be plotting on you. They be plotting on you. And they sit there and smile. You don't even know what's on their mind because you're not communicating. You're not going in their room and investigating. You're not looking under their bed. You're not going in their closet. You're not looking in their dresser. Okay, you need to check these kids out. Open their backpack. Talk to them. Look at their cell phone. Honey, a lot of y'all missing the signs. Yes. And so many of these kids, they upset because they can't talk to their parent. Because their parent, go in there and sit down. Close your door. Get out of my face. They don't want to listen. I'm too busy. I'm tired. I'm this, I'm that. And see the kids, they take that personal. They may not say nothing when they little, but trust me, that's really hurting them. And that's why a lot of them go to school and they take it out on the other kids. They take it out on the teacher. They take it out on the janitor at the schoolhouse. They take it out on animals. They beat the animals, set them on fire, like that 10-year-old boy did. He had been abusing animals early in his life, setting them on fire and twirling them around by their tail and all that kind of stuff. And they're so upset because a lot of things are hurting them. And it doesn't matter to the parent, but it's a big deal to the kid. And they want to talk to their parent. And years go by, and they feeling so frustrated. And yeah, they'll smile and they'll go on and go to the mall with you. They'll accept your gifts. They'll celebrate the holidays with you, but they still are toting those problems around inside of them. And the older they get, that problem is growing up with them and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And they are getting so mad at you because they can't talk to you. Something as simple as talk to you. Because you get mad. You shut them down. You shut them out. Be quiet. I don't want to hear that. Get out of my face. You know, the kids, they are taking that personal. They are internalizing that. And the older they get, the more angry they become. I've never had any children, but I know what being a human being is. And you don't have to have children and be a parent to know how other human beings are and how we think and how we move and how we process things, okay? That's a universal thing, okay? And dealing with a lot of hurt, especially when it's coming from your parent, that's a different kind of hurt. And when things is happening to you in life, in the world, and you can't talk to your parent, that takes it to a whole nother level. And a lot of times you cannot come back from that, okay? You can't come back from it. And the parent, you thinking, oh, I can compensate by giving them a car, or I'm gonna give them uh, a vacation. I'm gonna send them over to Dubai. I'm gonna give them on. I'm gonna send them to Mexico for their birthday or spring break, or I'm gonna do them. I'm gonna do it big for their prom. I'm gonna rent them a very expensive car. I'm gonna buy them a nice tuxedo or the best dress or this, that. I'm gonna put it all on Facebook and hire a personal chef. But they don't care nothing about that. Yeah, that's nice for you, but they still want to talk to you about some things that y'all have not dealt with. Okay, it may not matter to you, but it means a whole lot to your child. And quality conversations, that's something that money cannot buy. And that's the thing that your child wants. That's the thing that your child wants from you. The things that money cannot buy. And so many parents don't try to buy their children. You don't try to buy their love. No, 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 no. It doesn't work like that. You got to put your wallet down. You got to put your credit card down. And you got to sit down with your child and listen to their heart. A lot of these children, even if they're grown, their heart is hurting. Yeah, they'll talk to their friend, they talk to their girlfriend, they talk to their boyfriend, they talk to their teacher, they talk to their, but they want to talk to you. You don't have time, well, you got to make time, or time will make time for you. It's your choice. If you don't talk to them now, you're going to have to talk to them later. And it may be a very, very inconvenient, very, very, very uncomfortable conversation that might include other people like it is for Master P right now. Now, look at the audience now that's a part of what should have been a private conversation between him and his son. Now the whole world is included in that conversation that they should have had a long time ago. Wow. Yeah. Wow. You see how it's compounded when you delay a lot of these conversations. You're only making it worse when you delay it and you denying that person that conversation that they want to have with you, your own child. And I remember my own sister, one of my sisters, her son, who is gay. She was in denial about him being gay. As a matter of fact, most of my family was in denial about him being gay because we are a Christian family. We oppose homosexuality. And, I guess my sisters felt like, well, if we don't talk about it, he won't be gay. He'll just not be gay. And the gay will go away. But it didn't happen like that. The gay got worse the older he got. And he would talk to me, my nephew, he would talk to me. He would talk to his friends in the neighborhood. He would talk to his friends at school. But he wanted to talk to her, my sister. He couldn't talk to his dad because his dad had abandoned him. And he wanted to talk to her about that too. Why did you choose him? Why did he not want me? Why did he abandon me? He can't talk to his dad, so he got to talk to somebody that would know the answers, right? She don't like him, so she don't want to talk to him about him. So that's building resentment towards my my nephew. And he's talking to me about things that he should be talking to her about. And as his aunt, I'm the next thing to his mom, okay? I'm like his mom. As his aunt, I am his mom if his mom is not there. So I'm not going to have the same approach as her. I could have the same approach as her. Oh, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to talk about that. But I would listen. And he would appreciate me listening, but he really would rather talk to her. But she's not comfortable with those conversations. He wants to talk to her about the men, some of the men at the church, he told me. One of the men at the church was messing around with him. And that's one way that he got introduced to homosexuality. The man would take him on trips out of town and go camping and stuff. And he wanted to talk to my sister about it, but she wouldn't listen because she was so busy entertaining these other men, one man after another man, another man, another man, another man. And my nephew, he's like, wait a minute, when are you going to spend time with me? You always putting these men in front of me. You choosing these men over me. And some of these men are doing things to me, but she don't want to listen. Oh no, he would never do that. And he developed such hostility towards her. And he told me in confidentiality, and I never spoke about it until right now. And he told me that he had planned to kill her. And he was always very smart in school. He was always a straight A student. And he was very, very, very good in science class. And he had told me that he had been thinking about putting some stuff, mercury or something, in her food. He wanted to kill her. And I said, oh my God, don't do it. Don't do it, please. And see, if I had not been there to say that, or what if I had encouraged him or plotted with him, okay, let's do it, I'm going to help you do it, she would not be here. If, if it had went through. The hate had gotten that deep with him. And he hated her because he felt like he would not have been gay if these other men had not gotten in the way and had the opportunity to get as far as they got with him if his mom had been more attentive in his life. And then a lot of times after he had got into the gay lifestyle, he felt like, hey, my mom, she don't have time for me. She's not paying me attention. So let me get my attention from these men. He didn't want to do it, but he wanted some attention. His mom wouldn't give it the attention. And I remember he told me one day he was hurting so bad. And he was watching my sister buy all these gifts for this man that she was involved with. And she had bought him this cologne, this man, this cologne. And my nephew, he wanted her to do those things for him. And he began to be so jealous of her relationship with these men. And that was hurting him. And I was talking to her one day about it. And I remember she said, "You don't have any kids. You don't know what you're talking about." And I really felt like that was very unfair to me. And that did hurt me for her to say that. And she would use that as a weapon. "Oh, you don't have any kids." That has nothing to do with it. I have feelings. I have a brain. I have compassion for another human being. I don't have to be a mom in order for me to have understanding for humanity. Okay? And I was telling her how he wanted to talk to her. He needed to talk to her. It was a lot on his mind. And I was telling her the things that he was feeling. And she was like, she brushed it off and she was like, "Oh, we done talked about that already. I'm tired of talking about that. How long we gonna talk about that? We beating a dead horse." I said, "Look, you gotta talk about it for as many times as he wants to talk about it. I don't care if y'all already done talked about it 10 times. Maybe you need to talk about it 100 times. You are over it, but he's not. So however long he needs to talk about it, that's how long you need to talk about it. You have resolved it, but he has not. So, as the mother, you have to keep walking down that road with him for as long as he needs to walk down that road. Yeah, he can walk down that road with me, but he would rather walk down that road with you. He's going to get the closure from you. Okay? And for a long time, they had an off and on again relationship. He would go years without talking to her. And then something would happen and they start back talking. And he really looked at her more like a sister or a cousin. He didn't even look at her as his mom. He didn't even call her mom. He called her by her first name. That's how detached he was from her. And for a long time, he told me he hated her. He hated her. And he cried. He even tried to commit suicide, he told me. So many times he thought about committing suicide because he was hurting so bad because of how she had did him. And that hurt me because I can't relate to that. My mom was not like that, and I don't know how she got to be like that. We grew up in the same house. We had the same mom. And I just really thank God that I have had the mom that I have had, and I could always talk to her about a lot of things. And a lot of times she would want to talk to me about things I was uncomfortable talking about. Just like when I started my menstrual cycle. And I hid that from my mom for so long. And I would use socks as a maxi pad. And I would throw the socks over the bed or under the bed. And me and my mom shared the same bedroom, right? And every season, when the season would change, my mom would move the bed, the whole, rearrange the bedroom and everything, move the bed around. And one day, when my mom, it was springtime, I think, and my mom rearranged the bedroom while I was at school, and she found all those socks behind that bed. And when I came home from school that day, she was like, "Honey, why didn't you tell me?" She had the box. She had put all the socks in a shoe box, and she had it in front of me. And she was like, "Honey, why didn't you tell me?" And I was so ashamed. Oh, I was so ashamed. I didn't even want to talk about it. And you know, she was more open to talking about things than I was. A lot of sensitive things. And I'm so thankful that I had an open line of communication with her. I could talk to her about anything, but a lot of things I didn't want to talk about, you know. And sometimes there would be things she didn't want to talk about, but I'm glad that for the most part, I could talk to her about anything. And a lot of parents, they won't talk to their children and they shut them out. And that infuriates a lot of children, because you should be able to talk to your parents about things that's bothering you. And no matter how long the child wants to talk, you should talk to them about it until they have closure and they have satisfaction over the matter. And, even if you don't say nothing, just be there to listen to them. That means a lot to a child. Just listen. And I feel like that's what's happened between Master P and his son, Romeo. Romeo is hurting because he has wanted to talk to his dad about a whole lot of things, and his dad has been so busy. His dad has not been interested. His dad has just been unavailable and unaware and doing his own thing. And Romeo has been developing into a man, and he wants more of his dad's time and attention. And his dad has not been willing to give him that. And that has really made Romeo mad. And this is what's pushed him to social media. And, you know, he's really, he's really, he's really wanting to say more. And I think that would be a very unwise thing, because like Master P said, okay, if you destroy me, how is that gonna help the family as far as support, financial support? And see, Master P, he's all about the money, 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 money. And Romeo, it's like, okay, we can have time to make money, but let's deal with our issues. Romeo is all about dealing with the issues. We can make money, but he's looking at it like that because, like I said, he's always had it. Master P has always provided, and Romeo is not looking at the sacrifices that's having to be made. You know, he's been on cruise control, and Master P, he has been out there hustling. you know and that hustle has been developed from the hunger of not having had it when he was younger. And when you come from a place of hunger and lack and not having to uh, be able to depend on it because you never had it, and once you get it, you don't ever want to be without it again. So that's been Master P's motivation to keep going and going and going and going and going and keeping it, you know, like that because he appreciates it, he values it, and he knows what it's like to not have it, and he don't want to ever go back that way. He don't want his kids to have to suffer and have it to go back that, well, not go back because they never was back there in the place of poverty. They don't know what it's like to be hungry and their stomach is touching their back. They don't know what it's like to have to work at these 9 to 5 jobs and have a supervisor hollering at them and walking all on top of their heels, you know, and having to get up even when they don't want to and drive a hoopty or not have a car at all and having to borrow and beg and struggle and scratch and all this type of stuff. They don't know what that's like because they was born into money. Unlike their dad, Master P, he wasn't born into money. And, you know, Master P, he even said it. His only regret as a parent is giving them and giving them and giving them and not letting them have to uh get it and deal with the sacrifices. And I think that's a lot of uh things that a lot of rich and wealthy and well established parents what they all can relate to. And a lot of these kids become so ungrateful. They become so ungrateful. And that has to be a really, really hurtful thing to deal with too. And I don't like dealing with ungrateful people. And you only got one time to show me that you're ungrateful, and I wipe my hands of you. I'm through dealing with you. I can't stand an ungrateful spirit. Even if I give you uh something real, real cheap, it may have a sentimental value to me, right? And I told this story before, and I think I'm gonna tell it for the rest of my life and using it as an example because it really, really, really affected me, and I really didn't appreciate it. One of my viewers might be a subscriber. I had sent them one of those hand massagers. I think it was like $15 at Five Below, and maybe it was too cheap. It was too cheap of a gift. And I've noticed that. I've noticed that. And that's why I'm very reluctant now to have giveaways because a lot of people, they may not appreciate it. It may mean a lot to me, but some of these people, they may feel like, oh, that's so cheap. And they feel like, oh, they got better, higher, expensive taste. And, you know, some people, you just can't satisfy them no matter what you give them. But it's all in the heart. It's about being, I'm considering you, okay? And a lot of these people, they just have such an ungrateful spirit. And no matter how much you give them, or if you give them anything, they're still going to be ungrateful. And I remember giving this subscriber a hand massager. And that subscriber didn't appreciate it, wouldn't even say thank you, you know. And I didn't have to do that. I didn't have to do that at all. Plus, it cost me about another $15 just to mail it, and I could have used that money for gas. Yes, that was right around the time when the gas was high as Chris Jenner's booty, boyfriend's booty, and I said, I can't believe it. Such an ungrateful spirit. And that was the last time that I would ever send on that particular subscriber anything. They don't have to worry about it anymore. And you know what? Okay, it's not even about the cost of it. Okay, it like me, I'm thinking it's the sentimental value. Okay, and okay, if you show some appreciation, okay, it's a $15 massager today. What if, okay, it only takes one blessing to change the whole situation, right? So what if God blesses me right around the corner and then I become a multi-millionaire overnight, and then I might want to buy you a whole car, but you done fucked it up because you didn't appreciate the $15 massager. Forgive me, Lord, for cussing. Okay? You didn't appreciate the $15 massage. So why should I give you a car, a whole brand new car, and you didn't appreciate the $15 massage? You see how some people block their blessings? Do you see how some people block their blessings? Okay. So anyway, getting back to woo, getting back to Master P and Romeo. Let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this up because I got things to do. All right. So let's read some of the posts from Romeo and Master P. I had posted it on my uh, YouTube community page for those of you that are interested in seeing what has been transpiring between the two and you haven't seen it for yourself. Okay, so this is what sparked it all. This is what sparked it all, okay? So, as we know, DJ Twitch had committed suicide last week. DJ Twitch is Ellen DeGeneres, uh, her DJ. So, Master P, he posted on Instagram and acknowledged DJ Twitch suicide and dying, and that really pissed off his son Romeo because he felt like he was showing him, acknowledging him, and showing him more compassion than he showed his own daughter and his children. You know, his daughter had committed suicide or died from an overdose or whatever recently. So that was an unresolved issue with Romeo. And that had been brewing inside of him for quite some time, and they haven't dealt with it between the two of them or as a family. So that really pissed Romeo off, right? So he he took to social media and he said some things that did did rub Master P the wrong way. And this is what Romeo said. He said, "Today was a boiling point. I seen a man avoid his own children struggle with suicide and depression, but post another man whom passed today that he doesn't even know. Y'all idols be lost. Better stop following the blind. Watch when it's revealed." So this is what Master P had posted. He said, "Rest in peace to the one and only dancing DJ Twitch, and salute Snoop Dogg for celebrating him. These are crazy times we are living in. You can be smiling one day and gone the next. Life is too short. Appreciate your loved ones. Hashtag mental illness is real. Shout out to Post Malone and Dre London coming together with me for the cause. Hashtag God is good. Okay, so um he um let's see. Romeo. So when he said that, okay, it really got heated, right? So Romeo, he felt empowered to say more. So he goes on to post about he said that he never touched any of his own money because it went to pay Master P's taxes. So he posted on Instagram recently. He said, "This was my last straw, Pops. Stop trying to play the victim." That's when Master P had responded to him saying what he said. And he said, "Stop trying to play the victim. I love you so much that I followed you blindly for 30 plus years. You know, we've talked behind closed doors. You aren't the man who you paint yourself out to be. And why is it war? Because I refuse to follow your lead. You only want to protect your image, but the image isn't even real. And I don't need anyone to feel sorry for me, Pops. I'm truly a man of God. If you are really a man of God, then you will prevail in the end, even when I share my truth. I've tried to keep things in house. You are addicted to social media and unfortunately use this app as therapy. 3,000 plus posts. And when the world find out about the finances outside of a gift or a car, I've never been paid for anything I've accomplished as Lil Romeo. Uncle C and Silk know. You only pay outsiders, rightfully so. They'll speak good on your name. I'm at peace because I can now speak my truth and help others. Mom was always right. Your pride is everything. So someone had made a comment under his post. Carolina Grenda said something to him. Um, and he said, okay, so Carolina, one of the fans, Carolina Grenda said, "No, I feel you, P. You gave them kids a good life and opportunities. What they do with it is on them. They ain't come up poor or needed anything." So Romeo, he wasn't feeling Carolina's comment, so he came under the comment and made a comment in response to her comment, and he said, "All my siblings are broke, bro. Never even had money to afford college. Would could have got a Pell Grant. And nothing is wrong with that. He just shouldn't paint a certain life that isn't real. One big house to stunt in is a minimum way of thinking." Okay. Romeo being so disrespectful to his daddy, I don't like that. I don't like that energy. I really don't. The Bible says you're supposed to honor your mother and your father. Okay? Okay, so somebody else, another fan, came onto the post and said something about um you set the foundation financially for the family and we can all agree on, but it's more to that than just money. That's my only gripe with the older generation. Just cause money was put down doesn't mean it's enough. Other than that, I hope y'all resolve your family issues privately. God bless y'all. So Romeo wasn't feeling that comment either. So he came and made a comment under that comment. And he said, "I've been taking care of my pops, bro. Never touched no little Romeo money. All went to pay of his IRS taxes. Romeo just throwing his daddy all up under the bus. And he continued to say, I've been more than loyal. The truth will set us all free, though. Okay, so he's saying, I've been more than loyal. So does the loyalty stop when you get mad? If you've been more than loyal, you need to remain loyal. You don't get unloyal when you get in your feelings. That's not loyalty. Under certain terms and conditions, he's loyal. No, that's not loyal. If you're gonna get mad and get unloyal, I think if you're gonna be loyal, you need to stay loyal. Okay. So, okay, moving on. So, um, he wasn't finished. He wasn't finished. He just had so much. His keyboard was smoking yesterday. So he came back, and I don't know how he had time for all of this typing and texting and things. But he came back and said something else. So Romeo came back and shared a poem about trauma, um, days after seemingly calling out his dad, Master P's tribute to Stephen Twitch Boss. Okay, so he posted this, The Tree of Trauma. I don't know if he typed this up himself at the top of his head or if he copied and pasted it from somewhere else. But anyway, let's read the poem. The Tree of Trauma. Dear Giants, why do you want to be patted on your back so badly for doing good when, as God fearing men and women, we are supposed to do that? Why do you feel the need to promote and hold a product on every interview just to validate your worth? Don't the people see that? I think he made this up off the top of his dome because Master P, he does do reviews on products, different people's products. So I think Romeo did make this up off the top of his head because that sounds like he's talking to his daddy directly. Okay, how is the media one day your best friend and then the next liars? Whether it's the past or the present, karma had. I'm so sick of niggas using karma at their convenience. Karma. Every time something don't go their way, they try to use karma as a weapon against the other person, the opposition. I'm sick of it. Okay, he says karma has never been known for a liar. So why complain when we signed up for a job that reads no privacy required? How are we in a household of God and can't even pray for the lost ones that's kin to me? How come how come it took my daughter being born to finally realize that we have blindly been feeding the enemy? Oh, I wonder what he means by that. I need him to elaborate on that part. How, if I really speak my truth, my family legacy will crumble. That's like telling a boxer he has no right to rumble. Imagine telling a butterfly she has no right to fly. Then that butterfly has died before she has even died. Why is being right to strangers so much more important than being vulnerable at home? Probably because that little boy is just in a body that's grown. Heal, kid, heal. It's the only way to really feel. I think Romeo really want to rap and he calling this a poem. I think he was really rapping it in his head. So he just laid it out here like a poem. So anyway, he goes on to say, why is being right? Okay, I already read that part. Okay. Okay, why is it that I'm soaring and my siblings are not? Well, maybe they didn't put as much tenacity into doing whatever you're doing, Romeo. Everybody got a different path, okay? He's trying to measure his path in life to his siblings. Everybody in the household is different, okay? Somebody might be destined to be a nurse. Somebody might be created to be a janitor. Somebody, everybody has different gifts and talents, okay? He had a boost because his daddy was really, popping back then, okay? I don't know why he cannot see this, and he's supposed to be so intelligent and so grown and so this and so that. Okay, ugh. But anyway, let's go on and read his poem. Okay, so he goes on to say, probably because our father didn't give them the same time on the clock. Wow, he just punching the hell out of his daddy, isn't he? Oh my God, chase the money or chase the family. Okay, Romeo, I don't know why he cannot see. Okay, I can't believe he is trying to success shame his daddy. He's trying to sacrifice shame his daddy. If his daddy didn't chase the fucking clock, how could he be afforded the opportunities that he has now? If it wasn't for his, will somebody please tell Romeo, if it wasn't for his daddy chasing the clock, his ass would probably be working in a warehouse over there in Louisiana right now, standing on the block selling some dope. Will somebody tell Romeo big ass that, please? Okay, I'm so sick of this. This entitlement, this spirit, this energy of entitlement that Romeo is giving is making me mad. Okay? So see, this is what he needs. He needs to know what it feels like to be working on a 9 to 5 regular job and be a regular person. I bet you he would appreciate the sacrifices that his dad has made, okay? I'm sick of Romeo. I'm getting real sick of him. The more and more I read of his mess, I'm getting sick of him. Okay? He is just something else. Oh, if he wasn't so big, I'd let Master P go ahead and lean him over his big leg and beat the hell out of him until he acts right. I mean, this is just pathetic how Romeo is showing out on his daddy now. I understand he want to talk to his daddy and stuff, but this is just going too far. Romeo don't went too far. Okay, let's finish reading his foolishness that he done wrote. Okay, okay, did we leave off? Okay, so he says chase the money or chase the family. You can't do both. He can't do both if he wants to, Romeo. See, he wants to be the daddy of the daddy. That's what Romeo. See, Romeo is too grown. Romeo is too grown, okay? Romeo is too grown. He was too grown when he was a little boy. That's why this is where this is coming from. See, the Master P let him be grown when he was a little boy. So he thought he was grown when he was a little boy. So now he think he can talk to his dad in any kind of way. See, this is the problem. This is the problem. You can't do both because now you are gambling. Why is that you can't take the same heat as our mother can? Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh wow. Isn't he something? Mama weathered the dragging of media for years. Now he right about that. He is right about that. She didn't say nothing. She just took it. And with no voice because she doesn't kneel to man. It's no challenge. Well, it really didn't matter for Sonya because she wasn't the celebrity. Okay, she was married to the celebrity. She could sit at home and hide from the paparazzi and the bloggers. Okay, and do her thing behind the scenes. It didn't matter for her. It wasn't like she had to be at a movie premiere or on the red carpet. Okay. So he can't really compare her dragon to Master P's dragon. Okay. Okay. So anyway, he goes on to say, his mom weathered the storm of the dragon for years in the media with no voice because she doesn't kneel to man. It's no challenge. The power of woman outweighs the power of man. How is it okay to ridicule one in public for their mistakes but protect the other because of his role? My mother was broken for years publicly. I can imagine she was, because they did beat her down pretty bad. I'm gonna agree with him about that. Okay, for years. Okay, and still from the concrete she rose. If people really knew your truth, you'd be strong like my mama too. And although she might not be known for gold, no matter what her family put her through, her heart never turned blue. Regardless, I wish Romeo just get on the microphone and rap this out, okay? Regardless of the damage, just look deep, because every behind every great king there was a queen that carried on his curses that was never seen. I sure wish Romeo put some music to this and just gone and make it a rap song. Okay, why is that you can't take the same heat as our mother can? Mama, okay, did I already read that part? Yeah, I did. Okay. Um, wait a minute. Okay. Okay, let's start from this part. Okay, I write this because although I didn't live the life that may have been painted in the scenes, I do understand compared to most that me and my father has lived the American dream. But what about the ones behind us that was never seen? Just look between the lines of day and night, no matter what you preach. That is how you save a life. I've tried and tried behind the walls that hide. Um, but maybe social media is the only way to open up this giant's eyes. Romeo Miller. Okay, then he goes on to make a comment. He says, a poem, because poetry is one of the most powerful forms of therapy. Let's educate and break these cycles together. Your mental health. They shoot. Ooh, him and his daddy show is tossing that word around a lot. Mental health, mental health, mental health isn't an illness. It's a muscle that just needs to be built. The next generation will grow stronger because of our truths. And as a man of God, I know mines will one day too. The tree of trauma. Okay. So after this comes Master P's turn. Okay, Master P, he had his turn again to respond to Romeo. So Master P goes off on Romeo and calls the Shade Room the devil. Okay, so Master P, he went on his Instagram page and said, I thought this was about DJ Twitch and about my daughter's death. This is heartbreaking. You just exposed that this is really about money. I watched other celebrities go through this. I'm not playing into this anymore. God knows the truth. I'm at peace. I worked hard to get my family out the ghetto. Every time I fell off, I got up and went to work. I didn't blame anyone for my failures. You started this social media rant. So, what's your plan besides showing the world you're entitled, spoiled at 30 plus years old, and throwing a tantrum on social media? I never claimed to be perfect. I'm not afraid to admit I'm still growing as a man and a parent. Every day, everybody deals with death in different ways. I get it. I'm just an ATM for this family. I don't care about an image. The bloggers can have their laughs this week. I'm going to keep working, keep praying, and letting God guide me. Mental illness is real. This new generation of kids need to stop blaming their parents for everything. How do they think they got to where they are without their parents making sacrifices for them? Mental illness is real, and so many families are tragically affected by it, especially when there is added trauma like death of a loved one. Social media is not the place for healing. Son, I love you. Stop trying to get people to feel sorry for you and let's come up with a solution. You can come talk to your father and your family like a man. You have kids too. No family is perfect, but together with God, we can heal and get through this. Okay, Master P added a comment saying, I wouldn't wish this on no parent, especially when you try to do everything you can for your kids. Romeo, what's your plan? You are either part of the problem or the solution. I love you, and the door is always open for you, but I won't tolerate disrespect. I haven't talked to you or seen you in months. God knows I've tried to do my best. Oh my gosh. So he says, Satan, you are a liar. I love y'all, and Jesus loves you too. Keep being a blessing, and more blessings will come to you. Hashtag Happy Friday. No, I was saying the shade room is the devil. Because some people were insinuating that he was saying that Romeo is the devil. So he clarified. He said that he was talking about the shade room, the blog is the devil. I want to agree with him about that. They all acting like they're the devil. So Romeo, he decided to respond to Master P's uh, comments. So he came back and calls out his dad. Um, After he said what he said, and he said you aren't the man who you paint to be. He says, this was my last straw, Pops. Stop trying to play the victim. I love you so much that I followed you blindly for 30 plus years. You know, we've talked behind closed doors. I think I've already talked about that. I think I already read that one. Okay. So he says, Dad, please stop reading the comments and editing your caption. I'm the one who set up the family meeting to talk after Tata's death, Tatiana, there's his sister. That meeting was regarding as disrespect for being transparent. I pulled up to the crib time and time after that, and you deflect. I've texted you countless times, and you reply and deflect. Social media is the only way you communicate. Now you want to talk. Anything to protect that image. So he goes on to say on another post, when others use their platforms and voice, it's inspiring. Look, all this typing, they could have been done, got together and said all of this stuff face to face. All this typing. But anyway, he says, when others use their platforms and voice, it's inspiring. But when I speak my truth, I'm told I'm disrespectful and entitled. For my family, I'm willing to be the villain, though, if that's what it takes, because no matter how long, good will always prevail. Just want to make it clear that I will always love my father, but it doesn't mean I have to follow him. I'm 33 years old, and for me personally, my feelings have nothing to do with the death of my sister. No one is to blame for certain decisions she made as an adult. Our family needing shaking way before the tragedy, and at least now I know she's finally at peace. I've dealt with death. Why do people say, "Oh, I know they at peace"? How do you know they at peace? You can't talk to them. They ain't coming back to tell you they at peace. Ooh, I get sick of it. But anyway, he says, I've dealt with death before, and it's inevitable. But my daughter coming into this world was my awakening of having to get things right from the start. If we don't learn from our parents' mistakes, then how do we truly grow? Just like one day, my daughter will learn from mine. That's generational wealth. I can't force an adult to do something they don't believe. But the day my dad accepted to begin healing with his family with professional help rather than only just him is the day this family will begin healing. We've had the talks in private, and now we are here. There will be growth from this chapter, no matter the outcome. Okay, I think they need to get Dr. Phil on the line or tap Iyanla Vanzant to help them fix their life. And maybe even call in Oprah as backup and do a whole reality show and let us see the progress. Maybe they can help other families that's going through similar things and dealing with mental health. They keep on tossing that word around, mental health, mental health, mental health. I think they should, you know, do another reality show and deal with these issues. What do y'all think? Okay. So somebody said, one of the fans they posted had a better life than me. I don't blame my peoples. So Romeo, he didn't appreciate that person, that fan, saying that. So he came and responded to that comment and he said, "Man, we've been living month to month since I was 18. Shit is a mirage." Ugh, Romeo, I just feel like Romeo has an ungrateful spirit to a certain degree. I really do. I feel like he has really an ungrateful spirit. And I think they need to. I agree with him. They do need some professional counseling, and I hope they get it sooner than later, cause they need to fix this. Ugh, I don't know how long it's been like this, but they need to fix this right here. And so Master P, he came back and responded to Romeo's little post, and he said, "I'm at peace now. I know the truth. This social media rant was never about my daughter. This is about some money. Houses, cars, and jewelry are temporary. You can't take any of it with you when you die. Life is too short. People gotta stop being ungrateful and place blame when they're not where they want to be in life. I'm tired of people saying they love me only when I give them something. I'm not an ATM machine or a robot. I have feelings too. Thanks for all your prayers. We need it. I'm moving on, going back to work and hustle for the ones that appreciate me. At Romeo Miller. So he tagged Romeo Miller in the post. So I wonder, did Romeo call him last night or did he call Romeo? Or would they call each other this morning or text each other? I think Romeo needs to text him, "Good morning, Pops. I'm so sorry about all this social media foolishness. And I think we need to meet for lunch. Do you want to come to my house or you want me to come over there to your house?" Don't y'all think that Romeo? I think Romeo needs to text his daddy or call him, or Master P could call him and say, "Son, look, I think we need to squash this. Come on over to the house. I'm gonna have the chef to fix us some lunch, and we can sit out on the patio and talk about this, the whole family. Okay, we're gonna fix this today. We're not gonna wait. We're gonna fix it today. Okay." And I think that's how they need to do it. And even invite Sonya over there because she's a part of it too, and let her express how she been feeling about everything and voice her opinion because he ain't been letting her talk either. Master P, he ain't been listening at her either. And I think everybody needs to get everything off their chest, even if it hurts. even if it's gonna take a long time to listen to everybody and look how many kids they got, it's gonna take a long time, ain't it? So they're gonna have to uh erase their schedule. If they got anything lined up, they're gonna have to cancel everything for the next couple of days because they got a family emergency to deal with, and turn off their cell phones, put all their cell phones in a bucket at the door, and just connect to each other's heart, okay, and listen to each other. And you might have to scream and yell and cry. That's what it's gonna take because y'all been holding it in for years and years and years. So this is your opportunity to let it out and show and tell each other how you really feel. And the other person might not want to hear it, but they gonna have to hear it in order for y'all to progress, okay? And some people, they might be in denial. They may not see things the way you see it. But listen, you gotta listen to the other person, okay? And sometimes you have to be wrong in order to be right. You might have to say, okay, you right. Even if you don't agree with that person, you might have to just go and say, you right. You right. I'm sorry. If you really want to patch up the relationship, go ahead and say that you right. You right. I'm so sorry. I didn't know I was doing that. I didn't know I was like that. I'm so sorry. And I'm gonna try my best to not do it again. I'm gonna try my best to be a better person. I'm gonna try my best to show up for you and love you the way you want to be loved. And I'm gonna try my best not to disappoint you ever, ever again. Even if you turn around and disappoint them, at least you say you're gonna try. Okay? You can't fix it overnight, so you're going to, have to work on it and let that person hold you accountable. And then y'all go on, okay, from that point on. But sometimes you can't trust that person, depending on how bad they do you. Sometimes you can't trust them no more. Sometimes all you can do is just apologize and go your separate ways. You understand? Because sometimes they betray you and that knife cut too deep. So it just depends on the circumstances. And, you know, I'm just hoping. And they got a big old family. So I'm just hoping they can patch this up and work everything out before Christmas and all of them can get around the Christmas tree or the dinner table. And that's going to be a big dinner table. And just celebrate Jesus because he's the reason for the season, right? And that'll be a great gift to give Jesus, reconciliation and forgiveness. That's a beautiful gift to give Jesus. And all that love. Oh, that's a beautiful gift to give Jesus for his day. Yes. So I think they need to get this wrapped up and worked out before the Christmas because they don't need to drag this into Christmas, okay, and distract from the reason for the season, and just focus on Jesus, especially when they keep on talking about God this and God that. How they gonna disrespect God's son on his day, and have this all in the way of celebrating his day? Okay, it just makes sense. Okay, so all right. So I think this is wonderful that this is played out the way that it has because so many people are looking at them, right? And so many people that's ordinary people as well as celebrities, they are going through the same thing or similar things with their own family, their own kids, their own daddy, their own mama. So, they can use this as a learning tool, right? And so many people can be better because of this and grow together in this, right? So I think it's a wonderful thing that it's playing out the way that it is. It's very unfortunate and it's very inconvenient. But Master P, one thing about it, he gonna find an opportunity to promote his products. Did y'all see Master P with that box of cereal on the staircase while he was making that video yesterday? I said, look at him. He is gonna promote his products. Okay, he don't care what's going on. He is gonna promote his products. Have Have y'all had his cereal? Child, have y'all had his cereal yet? I was waiting on the ice cream. I ain't seen the ice cream yet. I would like to try his ice cream. Have y'all had his pancakes? Child, Master P said he gonna build an empire. He don't care what y'all talking about. But anyway, I have always liked Master P, and I'm not gonna stop liking him because of this, that, or the other. And we're gonna work it out. We're gonna work through it, and we're gonna be better. And we're gonna pray. Let us pray. Father God, in the name of Jesus, please help Master P, aka Percy Miller, and his family reconcile and work through their problems. And may you be the center of it all and help them to get over this, God, and help them to communicate. And all the families that's going through similar situations, Father God, help all the families, help them to talk and communicate and get it out of their system, whatever is holding them back from being the wonderful family that they could be. And let them talk, and if they don't know how to talk, help them to learn how to talk and communicate and reconcile their differences. And I hope and pray that they don't be having all these problems that's interfering with your son Jesus holiday that's right around the corner, because we don't need no distractions and none of this foolishness to mess up Jesus's day. That's what we need to focus on, Jesus's day, okay? And I hope they don't carry on all this stuff into 2023. We need to leave all this foolishness in 2022. And uh may they be better because of this. And thank you for helping Master P to get out of the ghetto, and don't let his son make him feel bad for making the sacrifices that had to be made. And don't let him keep on dwelling on them taxes. Ooh, them taxes and taxes and taxes. Let him get over that, okay? And if he can't get over it, let him have to work at Walmart or a warehouse or a restaurant, so he can appreciate what the life that his daddy sacrificed for him to live right now. Okay, I think he needs to be served some humble pie. And if he keep on running this mouth, let him have to work at Walmart or Applebee's or somewhere like that, so he can appreciate the life that he's got. Okay, or let me be able to trade spots with him, Father God. I wouldn't mind. I got my bag packed up right now, ready to go, and he can come over here and I can go over there. Okay, if push come to shove, and I'll appreciate being Master P's adopted son. I can pretend to be a boy. I won't mind, but if he want another daughter, I'll be that too. In Jesus' name, Amen. Oh, I felt the power in that prayer. Did y'all feel that? I felt that. Yes, if anybody got Master P phone number, tell him I'm available to be his adopted son. I can pretend to be a man. I don't mind identifying as a man. I can buy me a mustache and grow me some hair on my face, and I will be the son that disobedient Romeo don't want to be. And I ain't gonna bring up the past and hold it against Master P and make him feel bad about sacrificing. I'm glad he's sacrificing and providing us a better life. And I wouldn't have to work at Walmart or at a warehouse or at McDonald's. Yeah. Yes indeed. But anyway, let's keep Master P and his son and family lifted up in prayer. Cause child, they going through some things and things and things. All right, y'all. You all have a great day. Thank y'all for tuning in to this live. Oh, it's so late in the morning. I'm so late. I'm about an hour late from doing what I gotta do. But anyway, I gotta hurry up so I can get back and go to sleep. Holla at your girl. Peace.